Hello everyone, this is a beautiful day here in Rio, Brazil. Summer is just arriving and it can be very hot. And I'd like to talk to you now about some powerful questions that we can make to ourselves and perhaps think about things that we are doing in life. So that you can work with me now, I'm going to invite you to think about something that is bothering you, something that you could say perhaps that it's a limitation or a challenge that you still didn't find now a way to overcome it. And I want you to have that in mind, and I want you to see this challenge in a sort of a screen, just like a movie theater, and I want you to see this in a black and white movie. The focus isn't really very good, and I want you to see this, hear this in this very bad way, and I want you to take a look at what you see, this challenge, these difficult things or limitation, and I wonder if you can notice now the things that happens outside you when you see yourself facing the challenge in the picture, in the movies, in the screen. Excuse my English. I want you to see that outside in the screen, and I want you to realize what are the external factors that are somehow contributing to the situation. And I want you to notice also what's happening inside yourself. How do you react inside to those things that are happening outside? You can stop this video at any moment and write down whatever you feel like. And also, I want you to think very carefully. What are the other things that are inside of your mind now that are part of who you became or who you think you became? I want you to hold everything that you are experiencing. Try not to judge it. Just hold it. Hold it with you. And I wonder what you are learning so far with this situation. Okay, just hold it, notice, write, stop at any moment, write whatever you feel like. And I want to look at this picture, and I want you to walk around it. And I want to invite you to think about some questions. You do not have to stop and answer the questions. You can do that if you feel like, but you don't have to. You don't have to have an answer right now. Your unconscious can bring the answer at any other moment. The fact that you are looking for answers in that direction is the most important thing. So here we go. While you look at the things, consider seeing a situation in this imaginary screen and see something that you think it's a challenge or a limitation. Something that tends to happen. An example of a pattern, something that happens all the time. And what else can it mean? Perhaps you gave names to those things, just like limitation or weakness, whatever. It's okay, just hold it. But first try to write all these old names that you gave, this very pessimistic and not very positive names that you may have given to those things. And I ask to yourself, what else can it mean? What else? If you want to learn now something with this situation, what can you learn? If you picture yourself somehow contributing, helping this thing to happen, perhaps something that you focus on, or something bad or not so good that you repeat to yourself, stop it now. And I wonder if you can consider what can you learn with that. If we imagine that there is an inner part of yours inside of yourself, somehow expressing it and wanting to communicate something through this behavior, through what you're doing, what could it possibly be? If there's a part of yours in this metaphor, somehow trying to tell you something, show you something, make you feel something, notice something, what is there to be noticed, to be perceived? What can you notice that you didn't notice before? Okay, just hold it. And my next question for you is, what can you do with the things that you are learning? What can you do with the things that you were learning? If you find, for instance, that there's some part protecting you or wanting you to do something important or take care of yourself, for example, I don't know what you wrote or what are you considering, how can you just do that in a very healthy and nice way? How is that possible for you to do that in a way that it's positive for you and for other people around you? What can you learn with that? And now, what do you want about it? Sometimes I ask people, what do you want? And they tell me some things like, I don't want to suffer, I don't want pain, I don't want to repeat things. And I just ask them, don't think of blue. And guess what? You start thinking about the color blue, right? Don't think about the sky. I bet that most of you are thinking about the sky. So instead of thinking about what you don't want, what exactly, specifically do you want for you about that? You can stop any moment and write down. What can you consider about it? What depends on you so that you can go on and do something in the next few days about it, about moving towards something better now? When do you want it happening? When we don't have a plan for the future, for a bigger future, always have a plan for the future, tomorrow or next week or something like that. What are the resources that you know that you have, or that you suspect that you have, that could somehow manifest now in your life and make a difference now? Just stop at any moment and write down. How can you do what you are considering doing now with harmony? Not just for yourself, but for people around you. I know that it's impossible to please everyone. I'm not asking you to please the whole world, but how can you consider not just yourself, but significant others and other people that you work with perhaps, or live with, or friends, family, and acquaintances? How can you do things like that? And finally, I want you to write down 5 behaviors that could be in a camcorder, in a camera. Things that you are going to do that could be taped in video. I'm not talking about, I want to feel good. It's very subjective. If you think you need to feel good, what are the specific behaviors that you're going to do to feel good? For instance, I have dogs that I love, lovely female dogs. I could write, I want to take my dogs for a walk the dogs. This is a way to feel good through a very specific behavior. And finally, I want you to write down all those things, rewrite, consider everything. And after you finish, I want you to think about a future where you could try that limitation or repeat that limitation, but instead of using the limitation, I want you to picture yourself somehow practicing and enjoying, finding nice, healthy, and ways to put in practice all those things that you might be considering now in a very healthy and nice way. Just do that. Neuro-linguistic program is not about find answers. It's not about to know things. It's about to do things. It's imperative that you know, but more important than knowing things is what you do. How you find new ways to make new sequences of things inside yourself, and try to involve not just your mind but your body and the field around you, so that you can make those things happen in a healthy and better way. So we're going to be back with more exercises about coaching, NLP, and many other things that can help people to feel better for no reason. And please write us. Excuse my English, I'm not an English native speaker. I'm trying to do my best to communicate in a language that many other people would know, because my natural language is Portuguese, and I know very few people understand Portuguese in the world. I'm trying to bring all those knowledges in the way that I like to communicate them, and I'm trying to use something near English so that you all can understand it. But it's alright, I think it's going to work, but just give me your feedback, okay? See you soon. Bye. Have fun.